sitting here with three brothers, John, Thomas, Heath. They're all involved with this amazing narrative short film. John, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you talk briefly about the film itself.
Well, our short film takes place in 1960. It's about a sit-in protest that happens at a segregated lunch counter in southern United States. So we follow Alice, who is a white girl that's in the diner when two black university students come in to stage a nonviolent sit-in protest. And she wants to get involved, but doesn't really know. She's an outsider, but is sympathetic to their cause and does her best to join them. And that's pretty much where the story takes place.
Thomas, if you take a look at the film that you did, related to nowadays, what do you feel that people can learn and help project it onto nowadays into our society?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of the issues that are in Counteract, the short film, are still hugely topical and relevant to what's happening today. It was very interesting throughout the creation of the story when we were first writing it. There had been all the issues that had happened in Ferguson, and there was a lot of violence from police or people against black youth. And then when we were actually pitching the production of the film to the contest that we ended up making it through, it was all the Syrian refugee crisis was happening and very highly publicized. Now that it's doing the film festival circuit, we have the likes of Donald Trump and all of the issues that are sort of surrounding that, and potentially banning Muslims from entering the United States. And it just seems like every few months there's something in the news that's sort of a sad, unfortunate reminder of how much racism and prejudice still surrounds us every single day, and it's not just in the United States, not just in Canada, but in every nation of the world. We all still have those issues that we're tackling and trying to defeat, but it's very much a generational problem. If it's not, we can't necessarily fix it now because we've tried and it hasn't necessarily worked, but children of the next generation, if they grow up in a world without racism or without prejudice, if they learn how to respect and treat other human beings, then I think that's sort of the way that we slowly but surely weed this out of our society altogether. And a big part of that is raising awareness and starting that conversation. And that's what we hope Counteract achieves.
Heath, what I want to know is that the importance of raising funds in order to get projects like this out so people can see it, not to make it, but then to get it in front of people. You want to talk about how important it is for raising those funds?
Yeah, it's hugely important to donate and try and get some money so that people can get out there and tell that message, because it's a message that needs to be heard. So there's tons of different ways that people can help with raising those funds, including just coming out to film festivals like this one, the Reelworld Film Festival, which really puts an emphasis on social issues and trying to get important messages out to the public.
What I want each of you to do is I want you to share what you guys have seen now that you complete your film, you're going to the film festivals. What are some of the things that people are sharing with you about your film?
I think a lot of people are just kind of taken aback at the subject matter, and again, like Thomas was saying, how relevant some of these issues are today, and that it's an unending problem. It's an issue that's still happening today, and we need, as a society, we have a long way to go before we make real change in the world. It's slowly but surely, different regions, get exposed to it and start up the dialogues, and again, the younger generations come up and start to affect change in our world.
I think that the film specifically is about an outsider, someone who's not a part of the victimized minority. It's about, we see it through the eyes of a slightly naive but good Samaritan white girl who's trying to join this protest that the two black people are staging in the diner. So the film is sort of about the importance of us standing up for what is right and doing what is right and getting involved in this struggle to end racism and prejudice, despite the fact that you may not be a part of the victimized minority. So I think what we're finding is a lot of people feel like they share that feeling of wanting to get involved and wanting to do the right thing, but don't necessarily know where to put that, what the outlet is for that. For us, it was even just making this film was a big step for us to sort of try and get involved and try and sort of do the right thing and start that dialogue. But I think we've definitely heard from a lot of people that they feel like they want to get involved as well, and they feel like even though they're an outsider or they're not a part of the victimized minority, they have a certain level of accountability and they want to do the right thing.
I think we've found that there's a lot of people out there that didn't even know that the actions within our film actually took place in real life. We ourselves decided to make the film because we just found out about the sit-in movement, when we were in our early 20s kind of thing, and we thought it was kind of a crime that we had gone so long without even knowing that these incidents had taken place. Over 70,000 people in 1960 alone participated in sit-in protests. And it's something that we thought was an incredible story and should be told and get out there more. And so that's kind of why we decided to make the film. And the more people that see it, the more we're finding that, lots of people didn't even know it happened. So I think it's important to look into your past and try and find these incredible stories and share them with today's public.
Well, I want to thank each of you for joining me. And, your film here, hopefully a lot of people come up and saying positive things about it. Thank you so much.